make all sorts of great things. In the library this summer, we are making great memories, reading all about the sea, making a splash, and I hope you've been diving into some books. So I brought some tissue paper to make something with. You know what the word origami is? Yeah, that's when you take a piece of paper, you fold it, and you make something. It's the Japanese art of paper folding called origami. And we're going to make something out of this tissue paper. Have you ever gotten a present wrapped in tissue paper like this? For your birthday in a bag, you know what I'm talking about, right? That means they're in a hurry, but they still love you. You know it's true. 2 pieces of tissue paper. One is yellow and green, and one is black. If I have 2 pieces and rip them in half, that makes 4 pieces. Very good. Hold on to that piece, Amber. Hold on to that piece, Amber. Wonderful. Wave your pieces of paper in the air like I'm doing. Very nice. And a loud voice for everyone to hear you, Amber. Say, I am the amazing Amber. Perfect. Try this. I will now perform magic and sleight of hand. And perfect professional polished pro kids prestidigitation. Never mind, I got carried away, sorry. Put your 2 pieces of paper together, Amber. Hold them at the top. That's the bottom. I'm messing with you, sweet pea, I'm sorry. I'm just teasing you. Tear them in half right down the middle for me, Amber. Just tear them. As best you can, you tear them when I say go. Ready? Set. Are you sure you're not homeschooled? I tell you what, I'm going to tear mine. Tear mine again. I homeschool my kids. Tear them again. Actually, my wife does. I'm the principal. Tear them again. Tear it one more time. Hey-ya! You are the Karate Kid. You know what you made? All the moms know. We made a mess. All the dads are going, who's going to clean that up? That sums up marriage right there. Now, we're going to recycle this mess. Amber, hold on to all those pieces. We're going to recycle them. We're going to make something out of them. But first, we're going to need a magic word. Who has a magic word for me? Do you have one? Yes. Have a banana. That's a good one. Do you have one? Just a minute. Have a banana? What did you say? Oh, abracadabra. I thought she said have a banana. No, thank you, sweet pea. I already had a banana for breakfast, lunch, and apparently dinner. That's no ordinary banana, Amber. That's my top secret experimental from 3 Mile Island and NASA banana. It's my iBanana 4.0. It's ringing. I'll answer it. Yellow. Hang tight, grown-ups. These are about to get a lot worse. See if you can catch all 9 of them. Who is this? Really? It's Bob Dole. Hey, Bob. Really? He said he thinks my act has appeal. Hey, Bob. Thanks a bunch. What? Really? He's going to put my Nana on the phone. Hi, Nana. Everybody say, hi, Nana. Hi, Nana. No, LaVergne. No, Shirley is not here. That was a little Chiquitas. Listen, Nana, I'm in the middle of a show. This is getting rotten. I got to split. No, man, the kids don't get the puns, and the grown-ups are looking at me like I'm a fruit. Bye, Nana. Everybody say, bye, Nana. Bye. That woman drives me bananas. Everybody help. Put your fingers in there like this and wiggle. Don't point at me. I'll turn into a banana. Point toward Amber and those papers and say, have a banana. Say abracadabra. Say hocus pocus. Bow-legged locust. Fish bones choke us. And the best of all, please, and thank you. Amber, blow on the pieces of paper. Let's see what happens. You know what? When we don't give in, Amber, we don't give up. We don't lose our head. We stop and think instead. Sometimes amazing things happen. And Amber, this summer, we're learning about diving into books, making a splash at our library. And the more you read, the more you know. And the more you know, the smarter you grow. And as you read, you can do all sorts of amazing things, even magic tricks. Amber, we have made something perfect for you to go to the splash park with. A beautiful hat for a beautiful young lady named Amber. Give her a big round of applause. How did you do that, Amber? Amber, come here for a minute. Is your mama here? Where's your mama? Ooh, way back there in the cheap seats. Hello, Mama. Is that Dad? Yes? Yeah. She says yes, you say no. This is not Judge Judy, my friends. Dad, can she have this paper? He said you could have it. Put that paper hat on your dresser when you go to bed tonight. When you wake up in the morning, $1 will be under it. Just tell him I said that later. Clap loud for Amber. Thanks, Mom, for the buck. Hey, Amber, don't wear it to the splash party. It'll turn your hair green and yellow. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, back by popular demand, my favorite trick of all time. Watch closely. Nothing up my sleeves except my little arms, which were birthday presents from my mama. Watch. I got it. It's alive. Watch. 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 Da! What? Wait a minute. I already showed you that? You already saw that trick? I already did that? I'm starting to repeat myself. Never mind. You still didn't think it was funny, did you? Well, I can tell by the hands on my watch. It's time to bring somebody out that's been surfing at the library all summer long. His name is Elroy the Raccoon. He's back here behind this stage. And if you clap real loud, I'll bring him out to see us. But you got to clap. Come on, Elroy. Where are we going? We're going out this way. Come on. Oh, you got to clap louder than that. Come on, Elroy. Where are we going? We're going out this way. Come on, they're clapping for you. Wow! No, he can't. Yep, they're all here, ladies and gentlemen. This is my friend Elroy T. Raccoon. The T stands for Tennessee. That's where I'm from. He's from East Tennessee, a little town called Maryville. Straighten up, look your best. He came today to be with us. Elroy, settle down. Straighten up. Hey, chill out. What are you doing, Elroy? I'm chilling. Or what are you doing? I'm playing possum. Elroy, you're not a possum. You're a raccoon and you're a puppet. I'm a what? You're a puppet. You're made out of rubber and fur. I'm not even a ventriloquist, Elroy. I'm just a puppeteer. I talk for you. You talk for me? Yes, I'm a puppeteer. I love Three Musketeers. No, I didn't say I was a Are you light and fluffy in the middle? Elroy, stop. I didn't used to be. I didn't say I'm a Three Musketeer. I said I'm a puppeteer. I talk for you. You talk for me? Yes, I am your mouthpiece. You're my mouthpiece? Yes. You're my big mouth, Elroy. Straighten up. I wanted you to come today to LaVergne. We're back at the library. Stop. Must be looking at the fish. Ricola. Elroy, turn around. What are you doing, Elroy? What are you doing? Don't do it. Elroy, stop staring. Elroy, hey, baby, what's happening? Elroy! Excuse me, young lady, I apologize for that, Elroy. Elroy, my little chiquita. Elroy. My little babushka. Elroy. Will you be my Valentine? Elroy. Valentine's Day is over. Now straighten up. I wanted you to come today. You been in the Elroy, Mr. Scott, we're at the library. What? Excuse me, sir, we're at the library. We're lying about berries? No. Library. We're gonna go lie down in the berries? No, Elroy. Library, it's where you read. Oh, I love to read. Yes, and you've been at the library reading? I have been reading. What kind of books have you been reading? Joke books. You've been reading joke books. Yes, I have. That's wonderful. Tell us a joke from one of the joke books. Do you remember one? I remember several. Okay, go ahead. Knock, knock. Who's there? May I who? May I kiss you? Elroy! There is no kissing during the... Oh, that just got me! I've been kissed by a raccoon! I've been kissed by a people. Elroy. Listen, Elroy, maybe you have another joke you could tell us. I have another joke to tell us. Okay, go ahead. Knock, knock. Who's there? Cargo. Cargo who? Cargo beep beep. Meow. That's the joke. Uh-huh. Cargo beep beep. Meow. Yeah. Cars are not going to beep beep. Meow in LaVergne. They don't? No. What do they do? They go beep beep. Beep beep. Beep beep. How do you know? The police told me on the way to the show. Straighten up. Listen. Elroy, Mr. Scott, yes, maybe you have another joke for us. Knock, knock. Who's there? Olive who? I love you, baby. Elroy! You know what, Elroy? When was the last time you were in the library? Today. Yes, but yesterday at the library, remember? Yeah, we were at the library yesterday. And what happened to you while you were in the library? You were running. I was running. And you shouldn't have been running. No, I shouldn't have been running. What happened because you were running? I slipped and fell. You slipped and fell. Why did you slip and fall? Because you were running? No. Why did you slip and fall? Because I was in the non-friction section. That's a librarian joke. Straighten up. Listen. I'm a puppet. Yes, you're a puppet. I'm not real. I can tell you're not real. You got your surfing shirt on, though. You got that at the beach? No, I did not get this at the beach. This is Build-A-Bear brand. Elroy. Maybe you could tell us another joke. I have another joke. Go ahead. Knock, knock. Who's there? Let us who? Let us get married. Elroy. I'm a puppet. Yes, you're a puppet. I'm not real. No, you're not real. As a matter of fact, you're made out of rubber and fur. Because you're made out of rubber and fur, I could take your arm like this. And I could twist it. You won't be able to feel it because you're not real. So I could twist it once. Can't feel it. Twice. Can't feel it. 3 times. 4 times. 5 times. It's the big one, Elizabeth. It's the big one. Wrong show. Elroy. Maybe we should do the trick where you float in the air. Right? What? You know, the trick where you float in the air. You're not Chris Angel. Elroy, now come on. He thinks he is. Elroy, we're going to lay you down right here on my leg. That does not look safe. It's all right. Do I need my helmet? No, you don't need a helmet. Mr. Scott, yes. You said you're from Florida? Yes, I am from Florida. Your leg looks like it's from Canada. Elroy. You need a tan. Elroy. White boy. Elroy. Just relax. Look into my eyes. We got something in your nose. Elroy. You will now become lighter than air. Had breakfast at Taco Bell. Elroy. I ran for the border. Elroy. I got the chalupa. Elroy. Now come on. Where's the boat? Elroy. Where the boat leaves from goes that ground. Elroy. Ladies and germs. Elroy. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and gerbils. Elroy. It's girls. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and squirrels. Elroy. The art of raccoon flotation. Do not use this puppet as a flotation device. In case of emergency, I will be unarmed. Elroy. Now come on. Ladies and gentlemen, Elroy the raccoon will now rise like a biscuit. You will now rise. The great art of levitation. Rise. It's working. Rise. Rise. No strings. No wires. That's amazing. That's ridiculous. Elroy, you ruined my trick. How about I have for my friend Elroy the raccoon? He did a great job. Everybody say bye, Elroy. Bye, Elroy. No, you don't say bye to yourself. You say bye to my friends. My friends named Elroy. What are you doing, Elroy? I have a message. For who? For Miss Lorna, our librarian? Let me go tell her. No, Elroy. I love you, Miss Lorna. Elroy. How embarrassing. It's the pink hair. Elroy. Clap loud for my friend Elroy the raccoon. He did a great job. My apologies, Miss Laura. Lorna. Hey, you know what? Miss Lorna and I were talking before the show, and guess what she said? She said sometimes boys and girls come to the library and they check out books, which is what they're supposed to do. But they get home and they forget to take care of the books. They forget they borrowed them. They get home and they leave them on the ground, and their dog or cat comes along and chews up the corner. Or baby brother or baby sister gets a hold of the book and tears the pages out. Do you know the library has its own books just for babies? So if everybody didn't take care of the books, guess how many books we'd have in this library? Zero. There's always that one that nobody checks out, but we'd have very few books in the library. So if you'll promise me that you'll take care of the books when you borrow them, and Miss Lorna, look back there, Miss Lorna, you can't miss her, and say, I promise to take care of the books in the library. Now look at your mom, your dad, your grandma, to your teacher, whoever brought you. Don't look at me, I got 4 of my own. Whoever brought you, and say, I promise to behave the rest of my life. And all the parents said, amen. Now, hey, you know what? These are books on magic tricks. Oh, eyes back up here. We're not quite done. You can find magic books in section 793.8 of the Dewey Decimal System. Mom and Dad, you do know when we talk about magic, we're talking about tricks. Magicians do magic tricks, and we'll leave the miracle stuff to God. But I thought, since we had such a great time today, we made a splash, and there's some fun magic that I thought maybe I would show everybody my grand finale trick. Would you like to see it? Take a big deep breath. Hold it in. Let it out slowly. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been practicing this one to show it to you today. Watch closely. Watch. 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 What? What? You already saw the one with my watch? You didn't think it was funny? Well, never mind. I don't want to show it to you again. Forget it. Oh! Well, I can tell by the hands on my watch. It's time to say bye, and thank you for watching the show. We'll see you next time at the library. Thanks for coming today. Bye-bye. Don't forget to spread those warm fuzzies.
Can you imagine elephants right in your own backyard? Pretty cool, huh? Well, that depends on whose eyes you're looking through. Hi everyone, I'm Julie Scardina, here at Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay, along with our family of Asian elephants. You can see how big elephants are. In fact, they're the largest land animal on Earth. But along with their size comes enormous strength. And that combination doesn't always make them compatible with humans. We'll find out why shortly when we learn more about elephants, their habits, and their environments. We'll meet people who are passionate about elephants, from local villagers to researchers in Africa and the United States. We'll even find out how chili peppers are actually helping to save wild elephants. We know a lot about elephants, yet there's still so much that's unknown. So let's take a look at them from all sides in this episode of Saving a Species, the Elephant Story. Elephants have captured our interest and our hearts since humans first appeared. They've been revered, respected, feared, and even domesticated. Yet their needs and our needs don't always match. Humans have been challenged to find ways to share space with these magnificent animals, especially as the human population expands. Today, elephant populations are declining. Currently, African elephants are listed as threatened on the endangered species list, while Asian elephants are listed as endangered. But why? There are several sides to the elephant story, and we can try to share many of them through the eyes, ears, and voices of humans. But what about the elephant's perspective? Over the years, we've gathered enough information to take an educated guess at what this view might be. Every time I visit Africa, it's a whole new experience. And this recent trip was no exception. Although I never know exactly what I'll come across, one thing's for sure, I will definitely see animals. We've just arrived at Amboseli National Park, and look what we run into, a female with her 2 offspring. Seeing elephants in the wild is incredible to me. And coming from an urban perspective, I wonder how anyone could want to hurt them. So, I'm trying to find out more information.
When it comes to crops, I know we've lost quite a number of elephants because of that. You know, they go crop raid and then the people become, mad with that, and then the KWS has to go maybe shoot an elephant because of something like that.
Soila talked with me about the research program that the SeaWorld and Busch Gardens Conservation Fund supported. The study is trying to gain insight on how locals feel about elephants. Now, Soila understands their pain when they lose an entire field of crops to hungry elephants. On a recent trip to Rwanda, Jack Hanna realized there were mixed opinions about elephants within the village itself.
Do you like the elephant?
He said no. He said no.
The elders don't like the elephants because they destroy their village. But the children are more curious, especially about this particular bull. And in Kenya, Friends of Conservation mentors are teaching students the value of nature on all levels and the role it plays in their daily lives.
This is a different area whereby human beings are living, coexisting with wildlife. So there is need for these young men and women to learn how to live with wildlife. Elephants are what is known as a keystone species.
This means that many other animals depend on elephants for their own survival. They're herbivores, and the vegetation they eat and digest helps disperse seeds. During migration, elephants use the same paths, creating trails that other animals and even humans use to travel. Their tusks are used to dig wells, generating multiple water sources throughout the habitat. As elephants move through the environment, their large size helps bring down vegetation within reach of many smaller species. The presence of elephants in an ecosystem is extremely valuable and impacts many other animals and plant life. That's why it's critical that we learn as much as we can to help increase awareness and preserve elephants and their habitats. When they go outside of the parks or when there's a lot of people nearby, oftentimes elephants and humans run into conflict. Fresh elephant dung. I tell you, it might be something you think that we shouldn't be talking about too much, but there's so much information that has to do with elephant dung. I mean, first of all, they go just about every 2 to 3 hours because they're constantly eating throughout the day. When they do defecate throughout the day, they can lose as much as 500 pounds. So they have to keep eating. And one of the other most important aspects about the dung is that it actually contains the seeds of grasses, the seeds of fruits, the seeds of trees, and what they're doing is they're dispersing those all over the savanna. This is the way new plants and new trees grow. Humans and elephants have had to share space since they first encountered one another. But in recent years, conflicts have escalated. And when it comes to what we term human-elephant conflict, it's a complex issue with many sides, but there are solutions.
Most of them are here because the mothers are poached, and others are here because of human-wildlife conflict.
Oftentimes, elephants and humans run into
Wildlife
conflict.
parks where there are also people living, and a great many times there tends to be some conflict between the interests of the
Mostly
people and the interests
when
of
it
the
comes to conflict, you know, like spearing and all that, it is done by the warriors and not the old men and not the women.
Attitudes about elephants and how they can live compatibly with humans plays a big role in elephant survival. Currently, most African and Asian elephants are managed in protective parks, but this doesn't mean they don't sometimes roam into areas populated by people. And when that happens, they're not necessarily met with open arms. Like in the US, we've all heard stories of a bear wandering into a campground at Yellowstone, an alligator turning up in a swimming pool in Florida, or deer eating the vegetable garden in Wisconsin. Our attitude toward these situations is kind of similar to African and Asian attitudes towards elephants. But think about this. What if that vegetable garden was our sole source of food for our entire family? From that perspective, it's a lot more serious.
Those people are growing crops, they depend on the crops, and then the elephant will go crop raid and all that and finish all the crops, so they're not happy.
Elephants have been killed in retaliation or as a preventive means to protect crops. And as agriculture and development sites expand in Africa, the elephant's territory grows smaller, increasing the chance for human contact and conflict. During my recent visit, I witnessed the results of this complex problem firsthand. We came upon this really incredible event this morning. As we drove up, they had already darted this big bull elephant that probably weighs over 10,000 pounds. But he was speared in the foot by a Maasai. We talked earlier with Soila about human-elephant conflict, and here it is right now. Fortunately, we've got the veterinary service, the elephant researchers, as well as the Kenyan Wildlife Service, and they're all helping this animal right now. This elephant must have ventured too close to the village, and fearing for their crops, livestock, or safety, was speared by the locals. You wouldn't think a little spear wound could do that much harm, but these injuries often get infected. And that's what happened here, putting this bull at risk. African elephants can weigh up to 14,000 pounds, and Asian elephants up to 10,000 pounds, so they're capable of doing a lot of damage. Their trunk is sensitive enough to pluck small fruit and leaves off a bush, but powerful enough to lift more than 500 pounds or push over trees, huts, carts, and anything else that gets in their way. In addition to the spear wound, the team has found another injury, but this animal is estimated to weigh close to 10,000 pounds, making it impossible to get to while he's under sedation. They've given him the antibiotics, and now they're going to give him the drug to go ahead and wake him up, and hopefully he'll heal on his own as far as the other wound is concerned. Sharing limited space with humans isn't the only threat to elephants. Other issues, such as poaching, the illegal hunting and killing of elephants for their tusks, significantly impacted their numbers and still poses a real threat to their survival.
But I believe it was a golden age in the 60s for the national parks. They were fairly recently formed, and in that time, the animals had at last realized that there were some places where man was not a predator. And for my first five years, that was how I saw them. Then the price of ivory went up by 10 times, never really came down. People all across Africa started poaching elephants. It was a grim period, and even the great national parks themselves in East Africa were finally invaded by poachers who decimated the elephants. And that really went on until the ivory trade ban.
And so that basically did stop a lot of the ivory trade ban.
It certainly did. It changed things radically.
After the ivory trade ban went into effect in 1989, there was a tremendous decrease in the hunting of elephants for their tusks. But even today, poaching for meat and ivory occurs all across Africa, and elephants are still at risk. Governments, agencies, organizations, and individuals are all working to help protect elephants. A variety of programs provide safety for injured elephants, care for orphan babies, or collect data to better understand native attitudes and needs, increase awareness, and offer solutions that work for the people and the animals. And on this day, one elephant was helped by an entire team of very caring people. Although crop raiding by elephants is a concern, prevention is a better strategy. And Soila knows of a local woman who has used a very clever and inexpensive technique to steer elephants away.
She was mixing chili pepper and tobacco plus used oil, and then they just put it on a rope, and then they put the rope at the end of every place where people are growing crops. And anytime the elephants go and smell the rope, because it smells tobacco, chili pepper, they just back up and leave.
Simple to make, easy to use. What a great conservation solution from the people that know it best. Villagers, researchers, teachers, veterinary care staff, many people are in the field helping elephants every day. But how about a little closer to home? Right here in zoological parks, people are making a difference daily. We're understanding more and more about elephants, and this translates into better care here and in the wild. For a variety of reasons throughout history, humans have been training elephants to work for them. After all, they're smart, strong, and extremely able. But today, elephants are trained for very different reasons.
What a good girl.
At zoological parks like Busch Gardens in Tampa, Florida, animal experts train and condition elephants as a way to help care for them, learn more about them, and also contribute to elephant conservation, as we'll see in a moment. SeaWorld is world-renowned for its killer whale training program. The park's positive approach to training and conditioning killer whales has significantly benefited animal care and research, while making the guests' experience both fun and educational. But wait, this show's about elephants, right? What's the difference between training a killer whale and an elephant?
Not much.
Not much.
Otto Fad leads the Asian Elephant Program at Busch Gardens Tampa, and Jeff Andrews heads up the Elephant Program at the San Diego Wild Animal Park. Both have overseen an evolutionary approach in training techniques. And guess where their experience came from? They were both longtime killer whale trainers at SeaWorld.
I started out training killer whales at SeaWorld before having the opportunity to come over to Busch Gardens Tampa and help build a new elephant team. Yeah, good shot. Good shot. Okay. One of the things that we learned early on was that there are a lot of similarities between killer whales and elephants. For example, both live in matriarchal, matrilineal societies in a linear dominance hierarchy. And what that means is that there is a social ladder, and each elephant has to know exactly where they fit. Beyond that, elephants and killer whales both have very few natural predators, so they're naturally very curious and adaptable. That makes it easy and fun to train them.
The programs at both parks set extremely high standards for their elephant care, and training is an important part of their program's success.
What we want to do more than anything else is teach the animals to want to cooperate and participate with us. So through that, if they are just simply here having fun interacting with us, the rest of it's really quite simple. But we do teach individual behaviors in small steps called approximations. And these small steps are things that the animals can easily understand and find reinforcing, and they build upon one another until we get to a finished behavior.
Elephants are very social animals. So Busch Gardens' 6 Asian elephants can mingle with each other whenever they like. When the elephants need care, we keep them and the people at a safe distance